Hey there, and welcome to yet another one of my cheesy YouTube videos. I'm changing the belt on my 2008 Mercedes-Benz E320 with the Blue Tech diesel, which is a OM642 V6 diesel engine. First thing to do is you got to remove the cover that actually these two bolts, they bolt in right here. They are 5/16, 12 points will do the job. Either that or they are I think 10 bolts, but I use 5/16 almost on all of them, a 1/4 inch drive because it's easier to get in. This is the silencer for the intercooler piping that needs to be unbolted. This long bolt right here is one of them, which I just stuffed in the hole to pressure wash it and keep water from getting in the hole. And there's a second bolt which I got a bolt in here plugging it. So this was actually a problem, what got me into doing this repair. I took the silencer off as part of getting room to put a new alternator on. In the process, I realized the front of this engine was filthy. There's obviously a slight oil leak somewhere that's been accumulating crap everywhere. So I figured as soon as I put the alternator on, I pulled it out to pressure wash it. And watching the engine run, I noticed that some of the idlers would stop turning, like this idler down here. There's another one up here. And the belt would stop turning, but the pulley on the crankshaft continued to turn. So, and also notice I was slinging a lot of oil, which was not really the case before I brought it in my shop. I knew there was a small leak, but there wasn't a large leak. I've never saw a drop of oil on the ground underneath this car ever, but this time it was slinging oil. But when I pulled the silencer off, one of the brackets was busted. So I bolted on with the one bolt and ignored the fact that I couldn't bolt it in the second spot because of the broken bracket. Meaning I left the bolt out. So one of my thoughts was, okay, that bolt must be slinging oil, which was this one again. And so this morning I came and I washed it again. Put the bolts in at first to keep pressure water from getting inside the crankcase, and when I started, oil was running out this hole, and this is directly above the belts. So basically I lubricated the belts to where it just wouldn't spin on the pulleys. I'm just mentioning that to you because it's obvious this bolt does not this bolt is not a blind hole. It opens into whatever's behind there. So I believe I got the major leak fixed, and that bracket being cracked may have facilitated the slow drip. Let's hope so. So now unrouting the belt, I just now shoved the belt onto the pulley. You can shove it between this bracket, or at least I could, and the pulley and work it into place. If not, you got two bolts, which are the number 5/16, 12 points again, that will do that, or the E10. And now when I put the belt on, I thought I had it on right, but there's something they don't really tell you. And I've never ran across a situation where the manufacturer has the groove part of the belt running over a smooth pulley surface, but in this case it does. This upper pulley right up in here is smooth. So I ran the belt under the pulley, but the fact was, and I didn't realize it, is that the two groove surfaces of the belts were rubbing against each other. Now let me get back up a little bit. To take the belt off, it takes a 17 millimeter down here. There's a place to put a 12-point 17 millimeter on there, and I used a breaker bar to relieve the tension on the idler. But a wonderful thing Mercedes did is, you'll see down here a screwdriver. They put a hole in the tensioner to shove a screwdriver through to hold the tension in the release position. Routing of the belts. Just look on the internet. It goes around the pulley on at least 180% of the pulley, 180 degrees of the pulley. And then it goes from the pulley down to, I believe that's the air conditioning pulley down there. And on the back side of that pulley, up to the power steering pulley right here. That's what that should be. And then it's going to go across to where the groove part of the belt, it's going to go across to where the groove part of the belt rides on the flat surface of this pulley up top. Then it's going to go across from there to, this is probably the water pump. Then it's going to drop down to the alternator. Then it's going to come up to another smooth pulley. The smooth part of the belt's going to be on the smooth part of the pulley, and to the tensioner, then back down to the crankshaft pulley. So that's the routing. And mainly thing I want to tell you is, don't do what I did and put the smooth side of the belt against the smooth side of that top pulley. It rides, the rib side rides on the smooth side of the pulley, and like I said, I've never seen that before, and that's why and it fit. It fit. It might have been actually a little bit loose on the tension, but I couldn't tell, and that might have facilitated why the belt was slipping. But I'm glad it was, because it allowed me to find that oil leak, because if not, I would have drove it down the road and pumped my oil out on the ground. But that's how it goes back together, and it's a pretty easy job. I mean, it's no fun reaching in there, but it's not too bad of a job. And I'm going to put this new belt on. Just a little blurb. The pulley on the alternator has got a overrunning clutch, or they got another name for it. And what that does, when you shut the engine off and the engine comes to a complete stop, centrifugal force of the internal spinning parts of the alternator, it allows it to spin down slower. And the alternator will continue to spin on the inside because of that pulley. And I guess a lot of vehicles have gone that way. I really didn't know why, but as the guy at the starter shop said, if you ever shut off one of the older Cummins, you'd go chirp, and that's that alternator belt chirping, because the force alternator just causes it to drag just a little bit. These pulleys, they say, have a life expectancy. They don't necessarily last as long as the alternator does, which ain't no fun. I think it might have been Gates had a little video on it, and they say change that pulley out every time you change the tensioner and the idlers. And I don't think I'd go that far. I expect more out of it. But anyways, I just want to let you know about that. Thank you for watching my video. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and remember, if you love life and learning new things, go aimless.com.